Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Greek Myths and Legends, where I deep dive into the Greek myths. Today, for the first episode, I'll be deep diving into the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, a tragic tale of love and loss. Though there are many interpretations of this myth, I'm mainly going to focus on the myth itself and add in some commentary about the interpretations, such as Hadestown and Eurydice. Let's get started. First things first, we need to know who the characters are in this myth. Orpheus is the first character. Orpheus is the son of a muse, and which muse isn't really stated. It was said that whenever he would sing, it would make the rocks and stones cry. He is also the husband of Eurydice. The next character is Eurydice. Eurydice was a nymph in mythology and one of the daughters of Apollo. Not much is known about her other than that. Let's take a deep dive into the myth. In the myth, it says, "But Orpheus had no rival, there or anywhere, except for the gods alone," which, when looking deeper in one interpretation, it says that the Greek god Apollo, Eurydice's father, gave Orpheus his first lyre. When he first met Eurydice is not specifically mentioned anywhere in the myth, but it was clear that no maiden he wanted could have resisted the power of his song. Eurydice died shortly after the wedding when she stepped on a viper and was bitten by it. Though this isn't mentioned in either Hadestown or Eurydice, there are still depictions of her death. Orpheus told himself that he'd use his music to persuade Hades, the king of the underworld, and Persephone, the queen of the underworld, to let Eurydice go. He went to the underworld and stood at the gates, singing his song, which moved Hades and Persephone. Hades told Orpheus that the only way to get his wife back to the underworld was to walk out with only the trust that she is behind him and to not look back at her, or else she'll be stuck in the underworld forever. In Eurydice, we can see Eurydice and her father walking together in the underworld, and when she sees Orpheus, the father tells her not to call out to him when she follows him. As they walk, not only in Eurydice does she call out to him, but also in Hadestown. In Hadestown, the reason Orpheus turns around is because he hears her say, "Orpheus, you are not alone. I'm right behind you. In the darkest hour of the darkest night. Come find me, boy." At this point, he also wonders if Hades tricked him and didn't send Eurydice after him. Once he turns around, Eurydice is sent back to the underworld forever. While at the end of the story there isn't a clear explanation of what happened to Orpheus, many people believe that he either died or killed himself because he didn't want to live without his wife. People also say that Orpheus was wrong for turning around, but others say that he turned around in a fit of doubt, and hearing his wife's voice behind him excited him. It would be hard for anyone not to turn around after losing the love of their life and hearing their voice behind them, after days and days of walking, slowly doubting that they were behind you. This concludes this episode of Greek Myths and Legends. Thanks for listening. Hope you tune in next week, where I'll deep dive into the myth of Hades and Persephone.